I don't know. I can't remember her name. Is it Wendy Matthews, love child there in 18th. The old Lachlan Don Burke, David Jansen, Benny John, Dean Taylor there, and they're off. Oh, my goodness me, it's off and racing. The big lights are up, and it's now a cracking start there. But look at the outside pace there. A beautiful job there from Douglas. He's already got Williams, and now Sam Cullen's already trying to chime into this one with Parko too. So race one has already come a gropper here for the big man in contact, and a bit of grubbing and shunting there on the turn 2 exit. But it's still Douglas out in front. Williams is not happy about his start, but Douglas now has just formed himself into a beautiful place to get himself into that clean air, as we were saying in the pre-warm-up. Goodness me, gets us all on Knockdogicon. Williams in second place. Then we've got Cullen, Parkinson and Zekas all behind them. They're all trying to form up a line here of 5x5, but it is still Williams now hunting down the back end of Douglas. He's trying to get the job done on board. You can see the cold tyre behaviour there from these boyos, and these guys are now ringing the necks because it's a 40-minute race, and they've got the opening lap here just to settle into the rhythm. Look at them. They've already gapped there, Sam Cullen and Parko. This is cracking stuff. I'll tell you what, Douglas just fought himself through that race in race 1, and he's not happy about a P2. He's going for P1, and he set the standard early here for Jason Douglas to get on the back of him. Now it's Sam Cullen versus Parkinson to get themselves involved too. As we form our lap here, Chriso, that was an opening stanza and a poor start from a couple of drivers. Douglas out in front.
Yeah, uncharacteristic there from Williams, just dropping back off the order. Cracking launch from Douglas, and that slingshotted him up into at least a position where he could battle it off for the lead, shutting the door down into turn 2. Oh, there's a car off there in the background. That's Smith in the Fanta car. He gathers himself up. We can't look away from this because I've got a feeling Aidan Williams not too happy about his own start, and will take advantage if he sees the door open just slightly. He'll try and squeeze that Mustang in there. Don't you worry too much about that. But Douglas, as we saw earlier on, can navigate around this circuit as well. And we look behind them. We got Cullen and Parkinson all lining up here at the moment. If Douglas knew he does know what he's doing. I'd be backing him up as slow as possible through some of these apexes just to take the pressure valve off. Let Sam Cullen have a little crack at Williams. Here he goes now. Great run into the final turn, slides up the inside. What an overtake there. What a position to get in from Williams. Was just hanging out underneath the rear wing. Saw it, just a slight opportunity. Slung it up the inside. There's not enough superlatives to give to that one. What a cracking overtake there from Williams, opportunistic and all. And will Douglas be able to return serve here, or is he going to be under immense pressure here from Cullen?
Well, clean as a baby's bum was that move there from Aidan Williams. Cracking stuff in the final turn there. Takes some gutso and bravery from both of them to actually not make a collision happen into that final turn, and he's got the job done. So now it's Cullen's turn. Get on the back of Douglas now, because Douglas is just on the slide, but he's come out the other side okay. Parkinson's all over Cullen too, though. Don't forget about him in that Falcon livery. Goodness gracious me, these boyos are now singing to the high heavens about pace department. Tyre wear is not an issue. They're just racing here to get positional advantage over the rest of them, because it's now Cullen who can think about half a move here on Douglas. He's got the inside run. You can see him just get a better run out of that apex. Over the whoop-de-doos as we go and fling it there. Nearly get airborne as you flick it over that curb and just into the braking zone again. You can see that Douglas is not as comfortable up into the entrance of that one, and that's where it hurt him between himself and Aidan Williams. And I'll tell you what, though, this is Cullen's opportunity now early on in this race to gain some positions, because it's already creeping out to nearly a second between Williams and Douglas. And I'll tell you what, Sam Cullen does not want to have another 5-second gap between himself and the leader, mind you. So all opportunistic now for these boyos to keep themselves racing. This is cracking stuff, though. Cooper Nathan's already in the pits, though, so disaster for our Cooper Nathan fans. And here comes Cullen.
Oh, no.
Oh, cracking stuff there up the inside from Cullen. Just opportunistic there on Douglas. Douglas had no answers for that one as well. He just got pipped at T12 and then out the other side of T3. Goodness me, in the fair dinkum department. Let's have a look at this again. Up the inside, so clean there. It was a little bit of a touch, but I'll tell you what, the door was left as open as bloody Angelina White's bumhole there, and he just thought, I'll go for it.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And poor old Douglas just falling through the pack at the moment, or at least down to third. Oh, that's Seekers on the arse end of Parkinson there, just putting him off into the bunda. I don't know if that was legal, ladies and gentlemen, but let's go back and have another look at that from the chopper cam. We can see, it's just a matter of turning across the nose there as well. Yeah, I think Parkinson may not have known that there was a car up his inside, but he was well up, about halfway up to the door there as well. So it's play on there for Zekas up to 4th position. Beautiful start from him. The battle's on between Smith and Idler as well. After we saw Smith have a little bit of an off-track adventure, he's managed to gather himself up and is now under a little bit of attack from the Mustang driver.
Yeah, he's looking pretty nervous here. Oh, look at that for a move. Just straight up the inside of the old back traffic marker. Says, thank you very much. I'll get that one. I think that was Matthews there in the background, or Summerall, in fact. But look at this. This is Eitler now putting the pressure back onto Smitho. Smitho now just needs to keep himself cool, calm and collected like his long distance and Steve-O in the test department, because he's under all sorts of pressure here. It's a long game for this one. 40 minutes of racing. We've got 34 minutes left to go in this one, though, and it's now racing on here for Eitler. It's a cracking-looking livery there, too. There's Smitho, who's just made a mare of the final exit, and I'll tell you what, Eitler's now probably got half a chance to slip himself up the inside again. He goes for the switchback and does so. Cracking stuff here from Eitler. Is an AMMT driver as well, instead of course of style, and they're 2x2 into turn 2. Oh, cracking move there up the inside from Eitler on Smitho. Thank you very much. He says, that sticky founder means nothing to me. I've got the Kleenex out, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to swipe my way up in the inside and get that job done. 13th place. Beautiful stuff. He's down a long place from where he started, though. But Townend now, he started at 11th and he's finding himself inside the top 10 with Williams and Grant behind him. A very, very quick duo setting the pace there. And he's got a bit of wattle scars there to get himself in a little bit of an aero disadvantage there on the front left-hand bumper bar, but it's not hurting him too much. Through the whoop-de-doos he goes. Now it's all up to Williams at the back to just try and find himself into that little bit of a mid-corner track exit sort of scenario here. Through the whoop-de-doos he goes. Townend's not phased at all. Now it's Williams' time to get himself up there, because Lachlan Grant's up the inside too and nearly just had a bit of a mare on the entrance there. He was on the bunda as well in that Simsational delivery. But I'll tell you what, I'm not the best. It's just to subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for that, ladies and gentlemen. But it's Lachlan Grant now putting the pressure onto Luke Williams, who is also under pressure in front from him to get an overtake done. Yeah, tight little battle pack here, but we're going to have to leave them because it's on for young and old up here. It's Benny Mead on the back of Joseph Parkinson. Kobe Marshall up the inside there as well. Little waggle as well. We've seen that common thread today with Kobe Marshall's car. The rear end just does not look happy at all, and that might be part of the reason why he's down here so far. The order, we've seen how quick he can be in the past, and I'll tell you what, he's right in the thick of it here as well. You can see Joseph Parkinson heads off this little battle pack. Ben Mead right up there in P5 doing a fantastic job. Kobe Marshall too, just sitting there behind them now as they filter through this section where it's really hard to go too wide. And Alex Zekas down there in P7. Wow, that's a big send there from Marshall. Gets the job done somehow. Ben Mead, I don't know if he'd be too happy about that. And a big waggle of the tail again from Kobe Marshall. So that's gonna hurt his momentum a little bit with Ben Mead getting the better exit. But I'll tell you what, there's not really anywhere for him to go here. He might just think about sliding it up into the second turn. He does not, but he pulls up alongside here. There's overlap this time. Marshall's going to have to go defensive. He doesn't. He slots back in behind, and Benny Mead just slots in out of the server as well. A bit of network issues there, but they go racing once more. And I'll tell you what, Kobe Marshall under big pressure here at the moment. Benny Mead, Swiggy, the magician, pulling a rabbit out of his hat, and gee whiz, that car does not look happy at all in the rear tyre department. That is dead set, the tail wagging of the night. Look at the thing on entry there too. Just full crossed up as well. Just it literally lifted off the throttle pedal there. Did poor old Kobe Marshall. And he's just got swamped here. Mead's up his clucker now too. On the gearbox style, look at him. He just got to the entrance though. Perfectly nailed. The exit wasn't too shabby. But I'll tell you what, Kobe Marshall is just set up for absolute grip limitations there, and it's just filing his way through. Benny Mead's wide there too. That's going to give the man behind him in Zekas half a sniff as well, as a blue flagger comes into the pits and says, no, I'm out. No, that's Seymour as well into the pit lane. No, it's not Summerall. Sorry, goodness me. But I'll tell you what, it is unbelievable stuff. These guys are now just swinging past. Kobe Marshall's just launched it out of the arse end. See, up the road he goes, in out of the final turn on the straight. Benny Mead now has got nothing to think about other than racing forward, because I'll tell you what, with Zekas behind him here, having a good old tussle, and Burke coming up the other side and nearly touching paint there was Zekas on Benny Mead. I'll tell you what, Don's backyard here, or Burke's backyard as we like to say, he's just looking for a bit of a move here and descend here. It's just like Benny Mead is just trying to emulate disappearing like his act, and also trying to do the old Kobe Marshall as well, as that is Grey Ward in front of this pack now in the bad place for him to be, for a little bit of a tussle here between 7th, 8th and 9th, Chris. So this is going to get spicy. Zekas, you are kidding me. This is stuff that we don't want to see, disaster style, but for an entertainment perspective, Chris, that is exactly what we like.
Yeah, we've seen it. I know the last couple of laps we've seen Zekas just put that nose right up there at the quarter panel. Certainly not far enough alongside to warrant an overtake or at least a move at all. But I think we've seen just enough foreshadowing here that Ben Mead might be in a little bit of trouble if he leaves that door open just a slight amount too much, because Zekas is, here he goes again, puts it up there. There's almost contact, if not just a little bit of rubbing and tugging there between these two guys. I'll tell you what, Benny Mead would be absolutely shitting himself here at the moment, because Zekas is not only flying but has proven that he will stick that nose up where the sun doesn't shine, if it's invited or not. Tell you what, he's gonna have to have his wits about him here too, Benny Mead. If he sees that car go for the move, he's gonna have to open up the steering big time and maybe just forfeit the apex for a moment in case disaster could happen. Because I'll tell you what, they're not too far away, and Zekas just keeps on poking that nose up where it's uninvited.
Well, he is Greek as well, so he does love a bit of rear end action. I can give you the hot tip. Yeah, the old nose in the old rectum department. And I'm telling you now, Lachlan Grant is on board. He's looking very, very racy indeed. Just a little bit of a coast to the right, then to the left there as they find through into the final turn. He goes for the wide entrance, and he's going to go for the early apex out the other side. Get the power down early, and there's a big wibble there from Townend, and that is going to promote Lachlan Grant straight up into P10. Here he goes, drag race down the straight, absolutely done already. He's chopped him. He'll be throwing scissors out the cockpit of that car, saying, mate, you got chopped. Lachlan Grant up into 10th place, Simsational TV zone. Townend now has to focus forward because he's got two very, very angry customers behind him looking to take his place off him. Yeah, absolutely. But the battle's on again. Sam Cullen closer than he's been in the last couple of laps. You can see that. He'd be able to see the whites of his eyes there in the mirrors with Aidan Williams now. He had it all his own way in race one. This time it's a little bit more difficult because Sam Cullen, look at that car, just is on rails at the moment too. No wheel spin at all, just a slight little turn to the left, and they go shooting off down the front straight. Let's see how close he is in the old cockpit view. It's Aidan Williams now has the advantage. Oh, there's a blue flagger that comes out onto the circuit at the most inopportune time, but gets out of the way. That's Dean Summerall, does a great job. He's been blue flagger of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Ding, ding. Give him an absolute... oh, geez, that was some wild stuff there in the Valvoline car. A little lock-up perhaps in the rear, but Sam Cullen aware of it and slots in behind because he knows there's still plenty of time to go in this race, 35 and a half minutes to be exact, and all he has to do is get past his car in front. He's got him on pace at the moment, so he's just hounding the back and waiting for a mistake or just a forced error to come his way. Yeah, it's cracking racing between these two, and it's like we're commentating on the last lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. That's how intense this battling is, Chriso. It's just opportunistic to look between one or two battles, because Cooper Nathan here, down from ninth, where is he? He was ninth on the road, and up the inside he goes straight. No, Brock Clark there says, thank you, mother, for that. Just give him a little bit of a half-hip and shoulder on the outside of turn two. It says, no, I'm going to go for it. Into 18th he goes. So now he's licking his wounds and going for another little stanza is Cooper Nathan. Viewers out there in the chat, if you're a Cooper Nathan fan, he could be on here for a top 10. It's only 15 minutes into a 40-minute session, so he's still got another 2/3 of the race to go here, ladies and gentlemen, or just under, to get himself in that top 10 position. See what he can do. Let's have a look at that move up the inside, though, from this man, Zekas on the Magician. Just easy as you like, though. Up the inside, he says, Benny Mead had no answers. He locked the brake on entry, and that was too easy, taking candy from a baby style. But now Townend's under pressure here. Oh, beautiful move up the inside from Edler, and contact, and not the best place. Townend's going to get punted in the back as well, and he does there from Luke Williams. He was just an absolute passenger in that car by that stage. That is pretty dirty there from Edler. I reckon a redress is involved for that one. That was a little bit too far up the inside just to maybe say, I had the position there gained. And Townend's come out 3 positions worse from that contact there. Oh, my goodness me. But it's happy days for the old topless bikini and Serena Williams' love child there in Seymour and Williams, because they're going for it. Let's have a look at exactly what happened here. Townend just got a bit too opportunistic into turn 1 and 2. And up the inside there was a big man. Oh, geez, it's hairy stuff. It's about just as much as overlap as you need to say. I had the B-pillar rule there involved. Whether the stewards are going to say to that one it's race on or not, we'll find out later in the week, Chriso. Yeah, not for us to judge on that one, because that one is a little bit ambitious there from Seymour. Came from a mile back and
does the old torpedo through the final turn. Takes Chris Townend as well, so he's been in the wars as of late. He goes down to 13th position, 12th, and Seymour up to 11th. Z-Toxic in the chat says quality casting. Ha. So, yeah, mate, I agree. It's all good and stations here, but I'll tell you what, the casting's only ever is as good as the racing. The racing is quality stuff out here at the moment. It makes our job real easy. I'll tell you what, when there's plenty of action on track, and there is chock full of that here at the moment. Aidan Williams and Sam Cullen battling it out for the lead of this race. We're almost at half race distance here as well, and Sam Cullen has got the pace on Aidan Williams, but as we've said a few times here on the broadcast already, one of the toughest circuits to overtake here is at Oran Park. So he's going to have his hands full, is Williams, the entire race here if he wants to defend from Sam Cullen. And quite equally, he's going to have his hands full as Sam Cullen trying to find a way past in a safe manner as well, because we've seen tonight a few little overtakes that they just get it wrong. The judgment is just a little bit off, and that can end up with either one or both cars having a little trip out into the bunda.
Yeah, that's spot on, Chris. And it's just a credit to these guys for their racecraft as well, because they're out in the lead of the race. You don't want to be punting off someone when you've got a good 3.5 seconds advantage. It's now just should be whenever the genuine overtaking opportunity happens for these boyos. And I'm telling you now, when it comes to racing, this is how we look at it. Look at that from Williams. He just had to get crossed up, and it's invited Cullen up the inside. There's some trading paint that we wanted there. And now it's 2x2 Noah's Ark style out of the final turn. It's going to be a genuine drag race. Oh, no, it's not, because Cullen just put the foot down too early there, pedal to the metal, and that's given Williams a good old run once again. But these boyos now can just watch each other and focus on the racing ahead, because with that little bit of insurance, they've got 3.2 seconds after that. It's now the time and place to think about the long run. We've got 18 minutes and 32 gone out of this server and session as well. And now it's looking at what these boys can do. In the lap time department, you can see on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, it's been Cullen a little bit slower. But the last 2 laps, he's been gaining by 1/10 and 1/10. And he's just trying to manage his way through a little bit of pace advantage in some clean air. Once he gets up behind him, though, at this Oran Park circuit, it is very, very hard. And right now, I'll tell you what, Williams will be dead set shitting himself, because Cullen now is right behind him. Williams has got to get past these blue flaggers in front of him. If they're in the way, it's given the old Flasherino there too, so they know that they're in trouble now, right now for the lead. Will they get out of the way, or is Sam Cullen just going to take an opportunistic moment here from Williams' chock? He's up the inside, he goes. Cullen's there as well. Can he get the switch back on the exit of the final turn of the circuit? He can, but he's just still a bit too ambitious on the throttle there. A little bit of a tail wag, and it's play on once again from Williams versus Cullen. 0.3 of a second, Chris. This is bloody fantastic. Really nice job there getting through on the blue flag. As Sam Cullen having a little look, just showing the nose down there into turn 2 in the heavy braking zone, ladies and gentlemen, and super difficult as well, because you're braking in not a straight line, and everything you're taught in sim racing and in real life racing school is you want your all your braking pressure done in a straight line, and in these cars with very little in the downforce department and very lots in the weight department, it's very hard to apply those brakes when the steering wheel's at an angle. So hats off to all these guys for being able to pull it up at all into T2 and doing it in a safe manner and in a fast manner as well, when you're absolutely balls to the wall battling. Look at all the gravel out there on the circuit down there at turn 6 or whatever it is. It's looking like a sand pit down there. Sam Cullen now, as close as he's been, and it's quite some time, but you can see just there, visually, it's Williams that just gets a great run out of that final turn, and it's just enough to be able to hold off any sort of attack down here into turn 2 from Sam Cullen. You can see once they pull it up, they're separated again by a bee's whisker, so they go racing again once more time, and that just brings up the half race distance. We've had a couple of pit stoppers too in the break. It was Cooper Nathan's come in for his stop. I think he did that quite early. Then we got Williams on for a P5 here. He can get that job done on the Greek god behind him. Benny Mead just blinking in and out of existence as he always does. But it's literally just race on, because Zekas is now just trying to feel the pinch, that little pressure pinch that you need. It's just half a little millisecond of concern in your brain, and that's all the difference it could make. And look at that. That is exactly what happened there on the final turn. Now can Burke's Backyard get himself back into the top rating? He can't. He's just about there. He's not close enough into turn 1 and 2, though. He's just let the poor old Zekas go for it there. Up the inside he goes, though. Half a move there from Burke's Backyard. Goodness gracious me, Channel 9, 1998, get your heart out. He's slipping and sliding all over the place. Before Don Burke was a prick, Benny Mead was involved here, and he just said, oh, you know what, I'm going to try and trailer park Gurry around the outside. Can he get the job done? No, he can't. He just thinks about it again. Now Benny Mead can think about another P6 position advantage, because I tell you what, Burke's Backyard here, he's under all sorts. He's wagging that tail left, right and centre, and Benny Mead just, Carl just looks a lot more planted in the Camaro department there compared to that man in front of him. But Zekas too, he's really, really dancing. He's probably got the same setup as Kobe Marshall, and Benny Mead's lost it. He tank slapped himself out through the whoop-de-doos, and that's see you later. Good night, Irene, for him out of that battle. There's a car off in the circuit there. That's another one. Geez, the same bloke at Summerhill is just absolutely doing his best impression of a winter mountain here tonight. Just getting right out of the way out of these hot battles. And here comes Burke up the inside of Zekas. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. He said it's a dead set drag race, but I think at the moment it looks like Zekas has got the run. He's got the whole shot. The overlap has disappeared for Burke's Backyard. He can't get on top of the ratings over Better Homes and Gardens here tonight for one more round. Goodness gracious me, Lachlan Burke, hard out. Zekas doing the best job he possibly can with those tyres, as hot as a dodgy Vindaloo. So this is a cracking little battle.
Yeah, that's right. We saw the decisive moment right in this part of the circuit a couple of laps ago, where Zekas just aggressively came over to the left or the right-hand side of the circuit to block off Lachlan Burke there as well. And since then, it's been they've been locked horns in a tight little battle here. A couple of tenths the difference at max. And Benny Mead now, after his little excursion off the circuit, is starting to chime back in as well. So Lachlan Burke has the pace here at the moment, but Zekas, as we've seen when he was trying to get the job done on Benny Mead, he can be aggressive, and I tell you what, he's aggressive when he's defending as well. He'd be a tough opponent to come across on the circuit. And I'll tell you what, with 23 minutes, is that right, 13 minutes to go, it's going to be a hard task for Berkey, unless he can get the job done down here at turn 2. I think is probably his best option, unless there's some sort of mistake that falls into his lap. But he's not close enough here this time. Can he spook him with a little bit of a showing the nose situation? He doesn't. Gets right up behind him, almost a little tap on the bum there, as I think Don Burke got in trouble for in real life, ladies and gentlemen. The old pervert. There he goes. But he's off the TV now, and the smoke coming out the back of the that Burke mobile as well, like we're at a bloody Willie Nelson concert or something like that. Here's Ben Mead chiming onto the situation as well, just to let the pressure valve off, and I think that'll be enough for Zekas to start to maybe drive away, or at least just to build a little bit of a gap to maybe get his rhythm back and start to drive away.
Well, I think Don Burke got in a bit of trouble for threatening the old ass pounding department, but
is that right?
Yeah. He is trying to do his best impression here at the moment. Oh, look at that, Zekas and nearly all around. Just a bit of concertina effect there between the three of them, and that's Benny Mead nearly having an opportunistic moment to get himself up there. Goodness gracious me, it's 3 by 3 here. This is 7th, 6th and 5th we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, on the racetrack. And look at Benny Mead, he's nearly up the clacker there. He's had to pull the brakes on early, but now it's Zekas who's got him punted. Benny Mead's now getting punted as well in the arse end of Burke. Burko's a meat and a sandwich here at the moment, and it's not the old quality ham stuff. It's bloody Strasbourg here in the sandwich department. He is full on getting everything from which left, right, centre, you name it. All the meats are there for Lachlan Burke at the moment. Front, behind, left and right, upside down, you name it. He's just copping it from everywhere, Chriso. This is beautiful racing for 5th place.
Yeah, he doesn't want too much of the old wog sausage up the old rear end here at the moment from the magician there. Here he comes now. It's Lachlan Burke looking on the inside there of Zekas. Zekas is just, he's got his exits absolutely sorted here as well. Oh, look at that, around the outside, running him a little bit wide. Here comes Mead now, crashing into the outside there. A little bit of elbows out opportunity, and Ben Mead will take it with 2 hands. I reckon that's play on, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of rubbing, a little bit of tugging, and a little bit of racing. That's what we're here for, folks. And Benny Mead doing his magician act as well. What's happened here is his car's just turned inside out for a moment, but he goes back racing, and Lachlan Burke is all frazzled, and he's dropped on the back there by about 7/10 as well. So Zekas has had the pressure valve removed in the terms of Lachlan Burke, but now it's been replaced by the Magician, and he is coming hard. I tell you what, it is 6.5 minutes to go here, or 5.5, should I say? And this is an absolute three-way extravaganza. All the porno. What do you call it? My words are gone, but I tell you what, Zach O'Reilly's got plenty of them.
Yeah, I've got plenty of them, and I'll tell you what, the old rub and tug is just happening at 2 a.m. on a dirty Thursday night. Look at Mead up the Magician. He's trying to go for the overlap here. Zekas is sticking it fat up the right-hand side there, so Mead's got no opportunity to move there on point. He's got to be careful, though, because Don Burke is coming at him with a rat of knots like he did in the Channel 9 studios, and they are racing here like hammer and tong here. Look at that from Mead, the Magician, up the inside. Oh, no! He's got the old tank slapper himself, and he's looped it around. Oh, no, Magician! What are you doing, mate? David Copperfield here will be killing you at the point of time, and he's quit. Oh, as you know, he hasn't. He's just come back onto the field. Benny Mead from 5th place down to 8th. Unfortunate for the big man. Goodness me, that was something to behold. And look at him just facing the wrong way. He will be red missing himself. We'll have to see what he did earlier on in that one. But now it is Zekas versus Burke here. Donny Old is just trying to get the old racism card out of here and just say, mate, I'm going for you. And he's going for it. He's trying to get the job done and down the front straight away here. Can he get the arse end into gear and file his way through? It's literally within a 10th here, ladies and gentlemen. There is a car in the front. Oh, nearly contact there between Don Burke and that lap traffic marker. Goodness me. Burke comes out the other side unfazed. Zekas has run wide and Burke's nearly rear-ending him. Oh, my goodness me. That is close as you want to get there, ladies and gentlemen. That was really, really tight there. Zekas is just holding on for dear life. He has had everything thrown at him here, Chriso, but this is the final lap of the race, and this man is going to take 2 out of 2 for the evening. Aidan Williams fought off everyone. He fought off Sam Cullen in this opening stanza. He fought him off in the back end, and he's now taken P1 in the 40-minute. Sam Cullen, 9/10 of a second over him. Williams takes the win. 2 out of 2 ain't bad, Meatloaf style. Sam Cullen has to lick his wounds for second place, and Jason Douglas comes across the line in third. Celebratory donuts and power slides there for Aidan Williams. Absolute scenes here. 2 out of 2 ain't bad for this man.